I have to say that was a very peaceful night. Knock, knock.
Hello.
Good morning.
Bright and early here, thank you.
Wow. Have a supper down.
Thank you.
There.
Now, is it the country air? Because I feel like really relaxed.
It's his house.
Well, whatever the reason, Stephanie and Johnny's home has an incredibly serene atmosphere. But sadly, all good things must come to an end.
Wow.
This house really does embody Stephanie's personal taste and style, and it's because of her unique take on this marvellous New England style that I think you should lift up the phone and vote for this house as your winner.
So Melissa's convinced the New England style house has got what it takes. But what do her rivals, Michael and Russell, think?
That was beautiful. I love the fact that it was always filled with people. That, to me, equals a great home.
To see that building, and it was the unprepossessing building, had the potential to turn into a gem.
And the clever thing is, of course, they've used a style which fits beautifully by the sea. And I love all that timber cladding, both on the outside, the clapperboards, and on the inside as well. And it's quite a cheap way to actually cover up an awful lot.
I also think they were brave to put the house upside down and have the living room upstairs and the bedrooms downstairs, because that's not something that everybody would think would work.
Not conventional, but it works for them.
And I think Stephanie hit the nail on the head when she said she felt earthed there. And after all, that is what really makes a home, somewhere that you feel at home in.
Remember, only one property from tonight's heat can feature in the final show of I Own Britain's Best Home. If you loved Stephanie and Johnny's New England style house, then get a pen and paper ready, because later on you'll get to have your say. But first, if you've been caught hook, line and sinker by Stephanie and Johnny's seaside home, here's how you can steal their style. Stephanie's designed the interior to match its coastal setting. She's picked beach-inspired hues as her starting point, using shades with names like Stone Fall, Quench the Gloom and Leyland White from the Paper and Paint library. She's also chosen high street finds like this iron bedstead, Lloyd loom chair and sand mosaic tiles, and put them alongside objects found from the coast, all of which creates a light and airy feel that blends seamlessly with the outdoors. Outside, Stephanie's taken her inspiration from the clapboard houses you find in New England. She's given the exterior a cost-effective yet dramatic facelift by adding this cladding facade. Copy this technique and you'll instantly hide any offensive exterior and give your home that beach hut feel. Stephanie's opted for imported Canadian cedar clapboards, but there are other options such as larch and sweet chestnut. Follow this advice and your property will also feel right at home beside the seaside, beside the sea. Now, continuing the quest to find Britain's best home, Russell's putting his money on the Scandinavian-inspired house in Kent.
No survey of Britain's homes would be complete without the ultimate contemporary family dwelling. And the home I'm going to be staying at today was built some 3 years ago by a family who designed and built it around their own practicalities and their own lifestyle. But the big question is, has the experiment worked? Well, I'm about to find out. After years of living in a traditional cottage, Danish mum Lottie dreamt of moving into a modern and light-filled home. Unable to find anything to suit her family's needs, she demolished the cottage and built her dream home in its place. And with husband David often working away, it was down to Lottie to oversee the whole project.
I didn't realise it was going to be the challenge that it was. And at one point when I was right in the middle of it, both the builder and the architects said to me, "Oh, but it'll be fantastic." And I think there were times where I thought, I just can't see that, and I can never see it ever being finished. But no, it's definitely been worth it.
And that's because it's not just the adults who love living here. The children do too.
The most special thing about the house is probably that it has a little bit of a cool factor, according to my children. And when you've got sort of teenage children, to have cool factor is everything. So I really enjoy that I'm seen as a funky mum that we can entertain in style.
I can't wait to find out what it's really like to live in this contemporary home. With David away on business, Lottie's offered to show me around.
Hi.
Hi, Russell.
How are
Welcome.
you? Good to see you.
Welcome.
Wow. Look at this place. Crikey, it's ever so light and airy, isn't it? The instant feel as I walk in is of space and bags of light.
Oh yeah, that's exactly the effect I was after. With the skylight makes a huge difference, and actually the outer skin is like 25% glass to get as much light as we could possibly get.
It looks a wonderful place. Can I have a look round?
Yes, please. I would love
Shall
to
we
turn
wander
around.
through
Come
here?
on.
Built on a slope, this detached three-storey house is easily spacious enough to accommodate this large family of 6. At the top you'll find a family bathroom and 5 bedrooms, including the large master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom. Down a level, the open-plan living space includes a huge family kitchen, and off this is the study and a music room. On the bottom storey, there are 2 bathrooms and double bedrooms that both look out onto the back garden. But it's back upstairs in the sitting room where Lottie begins my tour.
Here's your cup of tea, Russell.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Those shells are very colourful. I've noticed splashes of colour throughout and outside.
Well, that was the whole idea. Originally, the house was going to be all white inside, but it just seemed too austere, and I wanted the house to feel warm. So that's why I had splashes of colour, and particularly here, I think it works quite well that I put the light purple inside the bookshelves, and then with the white etchings, it still looks quite neat and tidy.
Makes the whole place warm, as does the wood as well, doesn't it?
Yes, there's always going to be lots of wood because obviously that's very Scandinavian. But it's also that it's easy to maintain, and eventually when the kids get older, I can just sand it down, wax it again, and it can look as good as new.
Coming up on I Own Britain's Best Home, we'll be asking you to decide which of today's competing homes you think deserves a place in the final show. But right now, Russell is enjoying exploring a suburban family home in Kent.